The signal. The signal arrived on a Tuesday. Dr. Maya Patel slouched in her chair at the Deep Space Monitoring Facility, her third cup of coffee growing cold beside a terminal displaying wavelength patterns. The facility, nestled in New Mexico's desert, was officially part of NASA's SETI program. Unofficially, it was much more. The computer chirped. Maya's eyes snapped open. The pattern recognition software had flagged something unusual, a repeating sequence emanating from the direction of Ta Ceti. Not random noise, not a pulsar, something else. "Hey, Director Collins," Maya called, her voice steady despite the adrenaline suddenly coursing through her veins. "I think you need to see this." Hours later, the facility was swarming with personnel. The signal continued, growing stronger, more complex. It wasn't just a beacon, it was a message, and the computers had begun to decode it. "It's a first contact protocol," Dr. Hiroshi Nakamura announced to the assembled team. "They're announcing their arrival. ETA 72 hours. Director Collins, a stern woman with silver hair and the bearing of someone who'd spent decades in military service before joining the scientific community, made a call on a secure line. "This is Collins. Confirmation code Alpha 7 Delta Tango. The Sagittarius Protocol is now in effect." Across the globe, select individuals received encrypted notifications. Scientists, military officers, and government officials who had been preparing for this moment for decades. People like General Marcus Thorne, who was awakened in the middle of the night in his Virginia home, and Dr. Eliza Chen, who excused herself from a conference in Tokyo without explanation. Within 24 hours, they had assembled at a facility beneath Wyoming's Teton Mountains that didn't exist on any public record. "The translation is complete," Dr. Chen announced to the assembled group, displaying the alien message on the room's central holographic projector. They identify themselves as representatives of the Galactic Concord, a federation of 27 spacefaring species. They're sending a diplomatic vessel to establish formal relations with Earth. "And what exactly do they know about us?" General Thorne asked, his weathered face betraying nothing. "They've been observing our broadcasts, our internet. They believe Earth to be a pre-FTL civilization with rudimentary space travel capabilities. They've classified us as a Level 2 species." Murmurs rippled through the room. Level 2 was diplomatic speak for primitive but promising. Director Collins rose from her seat at the head of the table. "Then it's time we updated our status. Initiate Aurora Protocol." The room fell silent. The Aurora Protocol had been established 50 years earlier, when the first evidence of extraterrestrial intelligence had been detected. Not the radio signals SETI publicly searched for, but fragments of an alien spacecraft discovered in Antarctica. Earth's nations had made a momentous decision then, to hide humanity's true technological advancement. While publicly struggling with chemical rockets and space stations, a select multinational group had reverse-engineered alien technology, developed next-generation propulsion systems, and established hidden bases throughout the solar system. The public space programs were essentially a facade, maintaining the appearance of a civilization just taking its first steps into space. "All Aurora facilities are reporting ready status," announced Colonel Javier Rodriguez, his fingers dancing across his secure tablet. "Lunar Base Artemis is at full operational capacity. Mars Forward Base and Jupiter Station have gone to alert status." "And the fleet?" asked Director Collins. "The 8 vessels of Earth Defense Force are powered up and awaiting deployment orders. The flagship Avalon has moved into position behind the moon." General Thorne studied the tactical display, showing Earth's secret defenses. "What about the Excalibur platform?" "Online, but in stealth mode. The aliens won't detect it unless we want them to." The Excalibur platform, officially a weather satellite, was actually an orbital weapons system capable of engaging targets throughout the solar system with devastating precision. "Our strategy?" asked Dr. Chen. Director Collins smiled thinly. "Humanity has debated first contact scenarios for centuries. Do we approach as humble students eager to learn? As equals extending friendship? Or do we cower in fear? She straightened her jacket. We've chosen a different path. We meet them from a position of overwhelming strength. Isn't that risky? Dr. Nakamura asked. If they represent 27 spacefaring civilizations, which is exactly why we can't appear weak, General Thorne interrupted. Predators don't negotiate with prey. We need to establish immediately that humanity isn't to be trifled with. The Sagittarius Protocol is clear, Collins said. We allow the aliens to approach under the assumption we're a level 2 civilization. Once they're committed, we reveal our true capabilities. Not aggressively. We're not looking for conflict, but unmistakably. We negotiate from strength, not weakness. As the alien vessel approached Earth, humanity's hidden fleet moved into strategic positions throughout the solar system. The Avalon, Earth's most advanced warship at nearly a kilometer in length, remained concealed behind the moon, its advanced stealth systems rendering it invisible to conventional sensors. Captain Sophia Lynn stood on the Avalon's bridge, watching tactical displays as they tracked the alien vessel's approach. "Status report," she ordered. "Alien vessel maintaining course toward Earth orbit," reported Lieutenant Commander Jackson. "No sign they've detected our presence. Their scanning technology appears roughly comparable to our public systems, nothing that can penetrate our stealth technology. Weapon systems. We're detecting energy signatures that could be weapons, but they're powered down. Seems they're coming in peace, or at least want us to think so." Lynn nodded. Humanity had spent decades preparing for this moment, developing technologies in secret while maintaining the facade of a civilization just beginning to reach for the stars. The deception had been maintained through careful information control and strategic misdirection. The world's space agencies publicly celebrated simple achievements while the true advances happened in classified facilities. "All ships maintain position," Lynn ordered. "No one moves until the protocol is activated." The alien vessel decelerated as it approached Earth, taking up a high orbit. It was beautiful in its alienness, an elongated diamond shape with organic-looking protrusions, glowing with soft blue light, much larger than anything humanity officially possessed. "They're broadcasting," announced the communications officer. "Standard radio frequencies. They're requesting communication with Earth's leadership." Captain Lynn smiled grimly. "Let the show begin." In the United Nations General Assembly Hall in New York, delegates from nations across the world gathered for humanity's official first contact. The event was being broadcast globally. Behind the scenes, military forces worldwide were on high alert, and Earth's hidden fleet stood ready. UN Secretary-General Adeyemi addressed the assembly. "Today marks humanity's first contact with an extraterrestrial civilization. We extend our hands in friendship to our visitors from the stars." On the massive screen at the front of the hall, the alien representative appeared, humanoid, but clearly not human, tall and slender with luminescent skin and large multifaceted eyes. "Greetings, people of Earth," it spoke, its words translated through a sophisticated system. "I am Ambassador Zoril of the Galactic Concord. We have observed your civilization's development and determined you are ready for initial contact and assessment." The Secretary-General's smile remained fixed. "Assessment. All new species must be evaluated before formal relations can be established," Zoril explained with what seemed like benevolent patience. "We will determine your civilization's level of development and assign appropriate status within the Concord. Given your technological development, you will likely qualify for protected species status, offering you guidance and limited technology sharing as you continue to develop." The condescension was subtle but unmistakable. Earth was being offered a place at the children's table. In the facility beneath the Teton Mountains, Director Collins watched the broadcast, her face impassive. She pressed a button on her secure console. "Initiate Aurora Protocol, Phase 2. Across the solar system, Earth's hidden capabilities prepared to reveal themselves. The encounter. Ambassador Zoril continued addressing the United Nations. outlining the benefits Earth would receive as a protected species in the Galactic Concord. Trade would be limited to appropriate technologies. Earth would receive guidance in developing space travel capabilities. Human representatives would be allowed to observe Concord proceedings but not participate in decisions. Furthermore, the ambassador continued, we must insist on establishing a Concord monitoring station in your solar system to ensure compliance with interstellar regulations and to protect your development from potential threats. UN Secretary General Adeyemi listened with a diplomatic smile that revealed nothing of the real plan unfolding. After the ambassador finished, he rose to respond. Ambassador Zeril, humanity appreciates your offer and your concern for our welfare. However, before we proceed further, there are some aspects of Earth that you should be made aware of. He paused. With your permission, I would like to introduce Director Eliza Collins of Earth's Defense Initiative. The surprise was evident in the ambassador's alien features as Director Collins walked to the podium. This wasn't part of the first contact protocol they had anticipated. Ambassador Zeril, Collins began. Humanity has a long history of encountering more technologically advanced civilizations. These encounters rarely ended well for those who appeared less advanced. As a result, we developed a policy. She activated a control on her wrist device. The chamber's lights dimmed as a holographic display activated, showing Earth's solar system. Suddenly, dozens of installations appeared throughout the system, bases on the Moon, Mars, and several moons of Jupiter and Saturn. And more concerning to the ambassador, 8 massive warships decloaked, including the Avalon. What is this? Zeril demanded, composure slipping. This is humanity's true technological status, Collins replied calmly. For the past 50 years, we have maintained a public facade of limited space capabilities while developing our true technology in secret. The ambassador's multifaceted eyes widened. Impossible. Our observations were exactly what we wanted you to see, Collins finished. You observed our chemical rockets, our space station, our satellites. You didn't detect our quantum communication network, our antimatter power plants, or our gravitational drive vessels. In orbit, the alien diplomatic ship suddenly found itself surrounded by Earth's revealed fleet. The Avalon had moved into position directly above it, its massive form dwarfing the alien vessel. Aboard the Avalon, Captain Lin received the signal she'd been waiting for. All ships maintain tactical positioning. Activate targeting systems, but do not lock on. We want to make a point, not start a war. The ambassador was receiving urgent communications from their ship. Their sensors, now recalibrated, were detecting Earth's true technological capabilities. The Excalibur platform had also decloaked, its weapon systems visibly powered up, but not targeting anything. Ambassador, Collins continued, humanity has no hostile intentions toward the Galactic Concord. We desire peaceful relations and mutual cooperation. However, we will not accept protected species status. Earth will join the Concord as a full sovereign member, or not at all. The assembly hall was silent. Billions watched worldwide as humanity revealed its true face to the stars. Ambassador Zeril seemed to struggle for words. This deception is unprecedented. Not deception, Ambassador. Prudence. You arrived expecting to find a primitive species you could guide and control. Instead, you found equals who demand respect. For several tense moments, the ambassador conferred with unseen advisors. The tension in the chamber was palpable. Finally, Zeril spoke. The Concord's protocols are flexible in unusual circumstances. Your technological advancement clearly exceeds our initial assessment. However, full membership requires more than just technology. There are ethical considerations, cultural evaluations, all of which we are prepared to address. Secretary General Adeyemi interjected smoothly, but as equals, not as subjects. In orbit, the standoff continued. Earth's fleet maintained its position, weapons ready but not threatening. A demonstration of capability, not aggression. Your approach is unusual, Zurel admitted. Most species are eager to join the Concord under any terms. Humanity has always been unusual, Collins replied with a slight smile. We value our independence highly. However, we also recognize the benefits of cooperation and alliance. The tension began to ease as the initial shock wore off. Ambassador Zurel's posture shifted subtly, now addressing Earth's representatives with the body language of equals rather than subordinates. Very well, the ambassador finally said. I am authorized to begin preliminary discussions for potential full membership. But understand, this is unprecedented. The process will be complicated. Most worthwhile things are. Secretary General Adeyemi responded. As the diplomatic discussions began in earnest, Captain Lin received new orders aboard the Avalon. Earth's fleet would maintain its vigilant presence, but the immediate show of force could be relaxed slightly. Stand down to alert status, she ordered. Maintain defensive positions but power down targeting systems. Do you think they'll try something? Lieutenant Commander Jackson asked quietly. No, Lin replied, watching the alien vessel on the view screen. I think we've made our point. They came expecting to find primitives. Instead, they found humanity. In the following days, a delegation from Earth toured the Concord vessel as a gesture of goodwill. In return, Ambassador Zurel and a small group visited key Earth facilities, carefully selected to reinforce humanity's technological capabilities without revealing all their secrets. Dr. Maya Patel, who had detected the initial signal, found herself included in the scientific exchange team. As she walked through the alien vessel's corridors alongside Dr. Nakamura, she marveled at the technology that was simultaneously familiar and utterly foreign. We were right to prepare as we did, Nakamura said quietly. Their technological edge isn't as great as they'd like us to believe. They're perhaps a century ahead in some areas, but we're surprisingly advanced in others. Do you think it will work? Maya asked. Our strategy. It already has, came the voice of Director Collins, who had joined their group. The ambassador's reports to the Concord have been interesting. They're reevaluating their entire first contact protocol based on their experience with Earth. We've shocked them, Maya realized. Precisely, Collins nodded. They've encountered thousands of new species, but never one that deliberately hid its capabilities. Never one that prepared so thoroughly for first contact. They find us unpredictable. And is that good? Nakamura asked. Collins smiled. In diplomacy, being unpredictable can be an advantage. They'll treat us carefully now, respectfully. The Concord operates on clearly defined protocols and categories. We've proven we don't fit neatly into their boxes. Aboard the Avalon, Captain Lin reviewed the latest intelligence reports. The Concord was larger than they had initially believed, not 27 species but over 40, spanning a significant portion of the galaxy. Some had been members for thousands of years, while others were recent additions. They're an empire in all but name, she told General Thorne during a secure briefing. The older species hold the power. The newer ones provide resources and markets. And where would they have placed us? Thorne asked. Based on their initial assessment, a resource provider and consumer market, with minimal political influence. Lin's expression hardened. We were right to reveal our strength. In New York, as formal negotiations proceeded, Ambassador Zurel made a surprising admission to Secretary General Adeyemi during a private moment. Your strategy was effective, the ambassador said. Had you accepted protected status, it would have taken centuries to achieve full membership, regardless of your advancement. Then why offer it? Adeyemi asked. Because it works with most species, Zurel replied simply. Most are eager for any assistance, any technology we offer. They accept limitations without question, grateful for our guidance. The ambassador's multifaceted eyes studied the human leader. You are the first to demand respect before cooperation. It's a very human trait. Adeyemi smiled. We can be quite stubborn about our dignity. As the negotiations proceeded, Humanity presented itself not as a supplicant seeking admission to the galactic community, but as a valuable potential ally with unique perspectives and capabilities. Earth's hidden fleet remained vigilant, a constant reminder of humanity's preparedness. The Aurora Protocol had achieved its purpose. Earth would join the stars not as a protected species, not as a client state, but as equals. The path forward would be challenging. Navigating the complex politics of the Concord would require all of humanity's diplomatic skill, but the first crucial step had been taken. Humanity had announced itself to the galaxy not with humility, but with overwhelming force, and in doing so, earned the respect necessary for true cooperation. The stars would come to know that humans were not to be underestimated. As Director Collins watched Earth's flag being raised alongside those of Concord member species in the formal ceremony, marking the beginning of Earth's provisional membership, she reflected on the long journey that had brought them here. 50 years of secrecy, of hidden development, of preparation for this moment. Was it worth it? Dr. Chen asked, standing beside her. Collins watched as human representatives took their places among the delegates of ancient spacefaring civilizations, standing tall and proud. "Ask me in 100 years," she replied with a smile. "But for now, I'd say humanity has made quite an entrance."